Durdle magic. Hello everyone and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today we are playing the final game of Jirina Kudro. 1 red, white, black, 3/3 legendary human soldier. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this game. Other humans you control get 2/0. Again, noting the a commander part, not specifically her. Looking at our opening hand, Expedition map is nice, Arcane Signet is nice, Swamp, Temple of the False Gods, Skull Clamp, and Merciless Eviction. You know what? I kind of think I want to risk this. Expedition map can get us whatever we need. Arcane Signet will get us any mana we need. So I think that works out for me. Going to record this video. The core set's out on Magic Online. Picked up a few new cards for my collection, but only 2 made in here so far. Didn't have too much time to test. We do have the new removal that makes an Angel. I'm thinking that's better on us. And the new Dragon that's Warstorm Surge, basically. So we're going to try that out in here. Spire Bluff Canal. I haven't seen that in a while either. For our first opponent, we have a partner pair. Vial Smasher the Fierce and Silas Wren, Seeker Adept. Cover those in a second. Vial Smasher is 1 black, red, 2/3 legendary Goblin Berserker. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, choose an opponent at random. This card deals damage to that spell's converted mana cost, equal to that spell's converted mana cost, to a player or planeswalker that player controls. Partner, you know what that does. Mana Crypt and a Swamp for our next opponent, who we will cover momentarily. Silas Wren, Seeker Adept, 1 blue, black, 2/2 legendary artifact creature human. Death Touch, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, choose a target artifact in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. Partner. We also have a Read the Bones out of our second opponent, who is Sapling of Colfenor. There we go. 3 Golgari, indestructible, 2/5. Whenever it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you gain life equal to that card's toughness, lose life equal to its power, then put it into your hand. I have never faced one of these but once before, and it was a deck they were still working on, so it didn't do terribly good, but I think this is an underrated commander. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot, but I mean, it's a draw engine that attacks and can't really die. Scarab Barons into play for our next opponent. They gain 1 life. Karador Ghost Chieftain, classic. 5 white, black, green, legendary crit, Centaur Spirit, 3/4. This spell costs 1 less for each creature card in your graveyard. During each of your turns, you may cast a creature card, or spell rather, from your graveyard. So, pretty good. Reanimator, all that jazz. They tend to be fairly solid casual decks. Our turn gives us a Swamp, not the best ever, but let's go ahead, play 1 Swamp, and get that Expedition map down. On the bright side, Temple of the False God will come down, we'll have that extra 2 mana. Let's roll it on over. Mishra's Workshop, huh? Guess it's gonna be an artifact deck. Bad Bomba. Sad Robot coming into play. That's pretty good on turn 2. They'll go get another land out of their deck. You know how that goes. So, let's see, what would they get? They only need, yeah, I was gonna say, they only need black, but it looks like they're getting red. My gut was telling me it'd be a mountain. Mana Crypt trigger for the Sapling. Let's see if they get the bonk. I think I've voiced my opinion about their regular partners before. I don't like them, mechanically. Sapling of Colfenor gets the bonk. Yeah, that's like, how would they partner across worlds and stuff anyway? Like, I like the partners with mechanic, I think that's fine, but I think it's a flavor thing for me more than anything else. Just a land into play for Colfenor's Sapling this turn. Karador playing Golgari Guild Gate. Looks like they have all the budget lands in the deck. I wonder, you know, how fast this is going to be at that rate. I'm not against budget at all, man. I think it's fantastic. Holy crap. Our turn, we get the Grim Haruspex. Card draw, you're finally blessing me. But we're going to go get a land first out of our deck with Expedition map. So let's go ahead, play the Swamp, do that. And I think we're going to get white because if anything else, we'll at least have white for Merciless Eviction. And if we have to blow up artifacts, I don't want to lose the Arcane Signet with the only white source I have. So let's go ahead and grab red-white. And let's see, Sacred Foundry, we could do Clifftop Retreat, won't do much. I guess we'll get Battlefield Forge for now. And we'll pass it off to our opponents. Shimmer Mirror coming down for the artifact player, the partner pair. Flash, artifacts they spell, you may cast artifact spells as though they had flash. It's a really good card, and I've faced it across the table a few times, and you just kind of forget it's there because it's a mirror, and they tend to be kind of, you know, mirror, and Yeah, bad stuff will happen to you. So with all that happening, I'm thinking definitely Merciless Eviction on artifacts, which means we need to keep Skull Clamp in our hand as the backup. Grim Haruspex we could probably put down. Do Arcane Signet next turn. Land. Next turn, another land. Get our General down maybe, and then drop the Haruspex. Ooh, Rogue's Passage into play for Sapling of Colfenor. They can also have the ability to cut your life total in half if they have the equipment. And, I mean, or Vortis and Gorm. Blood Gift Demon. That's an oldie but a goodie, especially if you're on a budget. It basically is Phyrexian Arena, except with a body and flying. So, interesting story. Somebody, my brother, I believe, was playing his Phoenix mill deck, and he was milling us out. He was actually winning, you know. You know, mill gets... We don't run Eldrazi, okay, guys? But anyway, so he milled us all out. It was the last two people. I couldn't do anything. So it's my friend Jeff, my friend Nick. Right, they are sitting across the table. Jeff is next, right? He's going to lose. Nick's going to win this by default because we managed to knock my brother out. Jeff has a Blood Gift Demon, forces Nick to draw on his upkeep. That was a glorious play. So, because it says target player draws a card and loses a life. So, you know, these cards nobody uses, sometimes they have that niche use that just makes you howl with laughter and amusement, you know? Blossoming Sands coming down for the Karador player. I don't think they necessarily have to be a fast deck regardless, but if somebody drops a really expensive land, that doesn't mean the deck is good. But if they drop a land on every turn, you still have to look out. We get Mother of Runes. I am kind of tempted to drop that just so we have like a blocker or something. Plus that'll be good later, so... And we can't get it back. I was toying with the new Idol card from the core set, which I think would be really good for a low curve deck like this, but... I passed up on including it just for now. I didn't have too many things low end I wanted to recur. Battlefield Forge into play. Let's go ahead and play the Arcane Signet, and then we'll use the Signet to play the Mother. And pass it off like that. So then we'll follow up with our General. Follow up with the Grim Haruspex. See where the board is at that point. Unless we have to play the Merciless Eviction earlier. And blow up all the artifacts, I guess. Then we can play Skull Clamp, maybe draw a few extra cards, refill our hand if Grim Haruspex does its job, or doesn't have to, rather, and our board doesn't die. You know, then we'll have a bunch of cards anyway. I do love the Grim Haruspex and the Species Specialist, because if somebody blows the board, and Species Specialist is better, because if somebody else is playing humans, you get to draw cards as well. But it helps you recover. So that's really good to include in the deck, plus there's tribal synergies and all kinds of things like that. End of our turn, flashing in an artifact, Dimir Signet for the partner player. Thrawn Dynamo coming down for them during their main phase. Also of note, I did add Merciless Eviction over Dusk to Dawn. Through testing, Dusk to Dawn was fine, but you don't get these like little small utility creatures and the sad robots and stuff like that. And it already Merciless Eviction looks like it's going to pay us some dividends. Unwinding Clock. Yeah, okay. So we got 2 turns so we can get to Merciless Eviction. I think we need to blow that ASAP. So I don't know. I'll probably still play the commander. And she'll give us that token, a little extra defense. Speaking of defense, we have an attack Sad Robot into the Sapling player. See if they bother to block it at all. They probably just want the card draw. I'd just take it at this point. Yep, no blocks. Partner pair it down to 3 cards in hand. They don't have a draw engine or any way to draw besides the Sad Robot that we are aware of. So keeping their hands small and keeping them from casting stuff is going to be imperative. Couple of triggers on the upkeep for the Sapling player. We got the Bonk Tomb, if you will, and the Blood Gift Demon. And they could pick for the Blood Gift Demon. They are picking themselves. But you can't pick. It can be political. And I think it's a really underrated card. Yes, you're not going to get it at like even 7 power decks might be too much for it. It's not a bad card if you have nothing else. So I recommend it just to have one of in the collection if you need to power down something or play some more relaxing kind of magic. Sapling of Colfenor coming down for that player. I'm really interested to see how this deck ends up going. The attack, the demon into the partner player. Damage is good, they had no flyers to block and no response. So they take the 5. Alright, to the end step, just a forest into play for Karador. They do have 7 cards in hand, so they're not out of the game. They are keeping up with the land drops, so. Alright, our turn. We get General Kudro of Dranith. That'll be pretty good. Do I want to play it before the General, though? Is that a thing? Maybe I'll play it after Karador gets some stuff. So let's go ahead and play our Swamp. That way next turn we can play the Temple of the False God. Alright. General coming to the battlefield. She will trigger. We will get a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. There's the trigger. We get, you know, a blocker, essentially for now. Mother of Runes is pretty stacked, though. She went to the gym recently. 3 power. Alright, there we go. And we'll pass the turn like that. Leave up our blockers. Leave up our protection from the Mother of Runes. Black, I don't think there's any, like, 1-drop black things that are particularly scary. I mean, we don't have, like, Vampiric Tutor or anything, so... Hopefully the partner player plays some other interesting things into the board without any counter magic in hand. But, I mean, it is part blue. And we Merciless Eviction and wipe them out and hope they don't quit on our face. End of turn responses. Let's see. 4 mana Floating. Demir and 2 colorless. And we get the commander coming down. I was hoping they'd do that at some point. Scrap Trawler. Okay. Journal Kudro might come in even more handy. I was expecting such. However, Merciless Eviction does do the exiling. So as long as they don't keep up any blue mana, we will generally be safe. Mox Amber coming down for 0. Partner player's turn proper, by the way. The Scrap Trawler and their other commander, Silas Wren, were at the end of our turn. Hellkite Tyrant. I had a Hellkite Tyrant in my Felden deck. It did win me 2 games throughout its career. One when it stole the artifacts, and one when I brought it back from the graveyard at the end step of somebody else's turn with all of my stuff. Alright, so Silas Wren going into the defenseless Karador, as far as we know, defenseless anyway. Sad Robot into the Sapling player. So let's see, I don't think they should block this Solemn still. Oh, they are going to block it. That's too bad. They'll get card draw. They do have blue mana still up, so I'm worried. Silas will get to cast something from the graveyard, except nothing is in there, so unless they sack something, that will be somewhat different. Alright, so yeah, Sad Robot is going to the graveyard, and that will get to resolve to bring it back. So, sad face. So, Solemn dies, they get a card. Silas hits. They will get back Solemn to their hand if they want. The Scrap Trawler are not going to do anything, because there was nothing to recur that was 3 or less. Sad Robot back into play. They're also down to 1 blue source, so unless they have Force Spike, or Swan Song, or something of a similar nature, of which I think there are only 2 others that I'm aware of, we are free and clear to mercilessly evict their board state. Back over to the Sapling of Colfenor. They got the triggers. Will they get the bonk? They win the flip, no bonking. Right, forgot about the unwinding clock, so they do have a bunch of blue mana left over. But at this point, we either wipe them out, or they have to counter. I mean, that's pretty much where we are with it. So, oh well. Can't wait to get back to our turn and find out what happens. Alright, we have attacks. Sapling going to trigger. They are swinging the demon into the partner player and Sapling into the Karador player. They're going to lose the demon, though, so I don't know what they're doing with that. Sapling and Colfenor, 10 cards in hand. So, ooh, they got Erebos God of the Dead. That's pretty good. Damage is good. Second main phase on the Sapling of Colfenor. Toxic Deluge equals 5. That's actually going to screw up our plan a lot, unfortunately. We will get the trigger, the new thing where a commander dies and you can send it back to the command zone. We will send it back to the command zone at this juncture because we do not have any recursion. So that actually is... Now we have to wait an extra turn and risk it to try exile all their stuff. See, the problem I have is chat's public. I can't make a plan in secret, and I don't know this other player personally, so, you know, I can't say, yo, I got eviction. Don't do anything I'll get rid of their stuff, man. So, yeah. Yeah, what can you do? Alright, so, backup plan. Kudro, Grimhar Respects, exile some stuff. Then, we attempt Merciless Eviction again, then drop our journal and start wailing on things. Seems like it could be a plan. Let's see what else went to the graveyard. Bloodgift Demon's not too much of a concern just yet. Nothing in Karador, ironically. And get rid of the Hellkite Tyrant, get rid of the Shimmer Mirror, get rid of the Sad Robot. Alright, Brave the Sands into play for Karador. It's a card I think I just took out of here, actually. I don't remember. Every time I have a creature deck, I want it in there, but every time I end up putting one in there, I like either get it when all my creatures are dead, or I've almost won the game. It doesn't do anything when I get it. So, it's somewhat problematic. Seems to be like it's a great card. So I hope Karador can use it. We get Evolving Wilds, that's pretty good with me. Let's see, we do want to get that Temple of the False God down, and we don't want to yet play the Skull Clamp. So, let's go ahead and pay Oops. Nope. Don't want to take the damage if I don't have to. We'll go white through the Arcane Signet, black, and float that colorless and play General Kudro. There we go. We get a trigger. Let's get rid of the Hellkite Tyrant. We won't be able to exile that necessarily anyway. So let's get rid of that. They can have all their artifacts back, cast them, and then we get to eat them. That's fine. Alright, then let's, with the one colorless floating, tap, black, play the Grim Harvest. We'll get another trigger off General Kudro, and now we have some insurance against a board wipe, so we can get some card draw. So that will be nice. So what do we want to get rid of? Probably the Shimmer Mirror. I don't need them playing things at instant speed, and that will tie them off to any counter magic, which will give us a tell. Nothing really in Colfenor yet, so I think we'll go with the Shimmer Mirror, get rid of that, and pass it off to our opponents, hold up white like we have removal, and let's get to that Merciless Eviction. Mirrodin Besieged, another win condition. In case you're unfamiliar with this one, 2 blue enchantment. When there's the battlefield, choose Marin or Phyrexian. Marin, the fair side. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token. Phyrexian, at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. Then, if there are 50 or more artifact cards in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. So it doesn't immediately win you the game, but it can immediately kill a player, assuming you can dump enough artifacts in there. So they do choose Mirren though, so it does make him somewhat less of a target. Mox Opal coming down for the partner pair. Duretti Scrap Savant coming down for them. We'll cover that in a minute. Looks like they're still playing some stuff. Let's see. Yeah, they can dump more stuff into the graveyard that way. Scrap Trawler coming back down. Alright. So, yeah, we can still eliminate most of the artifacts with Merciless Eviction. Can't do anything about the enchantment yet, and then we can kill Duretti, so that could be a plan. Treasure Nabber. They could steal an Arcane Signet. That'll be fine. It's just going to get exiled anyway. But they could also steal the Mana Crypt, which is troubling. Sacrifice an artifact. If you do, you get a Sad Robot. Alright, Sad Robot's ability hits the stack. I don't see anything in the graveyard, though, that they sacrificed to get it back. So... oh, just the token. Yeah, okay. So, Duretti, in case you don't know, 3 red comes into play with 3 loyalty to start. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. -2, sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. -10, you get an emblem with. Whenever an artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. Duretti can be your commander. It's really good. Okay, Colfenor quits. Guess they weren't getting diddly squat for lands. That sucks. They were drawing so... they're up to like, what, 10 cards in hand at one point? That... I was looking forward to that deck. Darn. I wish they had would have stuck it out, but I don't know the deck. Maybe they just simply had no lines of play. Over to Karador's turn. Let's see what they do. They have 5 mana, could drop an land, 7 cards in hand. Yep, there's a forest. Still no creatures in the graveyard, so their commander still costs the full 8. Let's see what they do here. Wolfcaller's Howl. At the beginning of your upkeep, create X 2/2 green wolf creature tokens, where X is the number of your opponents with 4 or more cards in hand. Alright, well that won't be a problem for us, usually. That's pretty good though, some anti-blue tech. Speaking of which, the partner player has no cards in hand, so we are free to clear on that Merciless Eviction. We also have an Austere Command in here, so I'm hoping we hit that for the enchantments. I don't think we run too many enchantments in here besides like War Cadence and the Gods. Speak of the, well, God, there's Iroa's. Let's go ahead and play the Evolving Wilds, get that out of the way. I think we're going to want double white eventually, so let's go ahead and grab double white. Get a Plains out of the deck. There we go. And then let's play Merciless Eviction. They're going to get our Arcane Signet, but nah, whatever. That's fine. It's just going to go the way of the dodo anyway. There's the Nabber trigger. I have a Treasure Nabber. It just usually doesn't work very well for me. Go figure. Merciless Eviction with the hate inbound. Artifacts will go the bye-bye. Alright, well they haven't quit on us yet. We could swing in with the Grim Horror Specs and see if it dies or something, but we wouldn't get card draw. So I think at this point we just sit pretty and start making sure we keep Karador under control. Although second main, let's go ahead and play the Skull Clamp perhaps. Get that out of the way. And we'll pass it off after that resolves. Command Beacon into play. They do still have their commanders, so that is a thing. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. So they won't draw any if I remember how that works correctly, but they could just be trying to get to the ultimate at some point. Fall Smasher the Fierce. At least it's random, because otherwise they would hate on us with all the damages. That would not be fun. Let's see. Silas could also come out. They do have the Mishra's Workshop, and he is an artifact. Yep, Silas coming down, they get a token. Also means they'll lay into us probably a whole bunch. I think next turn, definitely our commander, unless we get like something fantastic. And then equip Skull Clamp to something, call it a day. Get Iroas down, swing into Ready and the partner player. Get them down as low as possible. Still suspicious about Karador though. That is a thing. Their Wolf enchantment isn't going to do too much, so I'm not too worried about that. They still have 5 cards in hand though. Eladamri's Call. They'll get a creature card revealed and put it in their hand, so let's see what they reveal. That'll be good for them. They haven't done too much otherwise, but they just played a land and this is it so far, the enchantments. So getting a creature they need will be very good. Noticeably Fierce Empath reprinted in this core set. I did pick one up for my collection. Wolfbriar Elemental. So let's see, green, colorless. So they'll get 2 wolves in the briar off of it. Pretty good. Parallel Lives. There's something we need to worry about. Back to our turn, we get Zulaport Cutthroat. Okay. I don't have any like infinite sacks in the deck, but it's just good to have around. So let's go ahead, replay our commander, get that stuff going, and pass it off to our opponent. I don't think I want to attack with anything necessarily. I suppose I could try and slam into Duray with the general, but I don't think I want to do that just yet, because he will die in combat, and I don't necessarily want to lose him. Alright, into play, we get some triggers. Let's go ahead and play Kudro's first, so we'll stack Jirina's first on the stack. General Kudro's will go to resolve. Nothing really to exile besides the call, so I guess that's the target. We get 2 more human soldiers. Kudro would have triggered, but Magic Online just skips right over that because there are no targets. 1 mana floating. Who do we equip the Skull Clamp to? I am thinking probably a human soldier. I don't know, I kind of want on the Grim Haruspex, so I think that's where I'm going to send the thing. Grim Haruspex 7/2, because it says whenever another non-token creature you control dies. But either Kudro would die and we get a card draw, but nothing else would, so I want, some insurance. So, do we attack or not is the question. I think it's safe that if we don't attack this turn, nothing terrible will happen unless there's a board wipe. In which case we get, 4 cards anyway. So I think we'll pass this turn, get our Rose down next turn, and start laying into the partner pair player. That's a tongue twister right there. And we'll have to keep an eye on Karador. We only have the 2 cards in hand. We'll probably need some other kind of board wipe. Hedron Archive, that'll give him some card draw at the very least. We do have 2 triggers. Vial Smasher gets a random bonky one on the head, and Meridian Besiege will give them a Thopter. Sorry, a Mirror. Why do I always think they're Thopters? Alright, Karador gets the bop. I'm fine with that. Hedron Archive will then go to resolve off the stack. They can immediately sacrifice it for those 2 cards, which I think is probably what they're going to be doing. Yep, there it is. They'll draw 2 cards. Hedron Archive, Mindstone, Dreamstone Archive, or Dreamstone Hedron, rather. They're pretty good if you have nothing else. I enjoyed them a lot when I had Feldon back in the day. Alright, so one of the cards drawn was at least a land. So they do still have 1 card in hand, so unless it's double lands, we always have to fear, I suppose. They'll sacrifice an artifact to get back the Hedron Archive. I don't see what they're sacrificing, though. Probably just a mirror token. Yep, mirror token into the bin. They'll be able to draw a few more cards, and that's why we have to slam into them as hard as possible. They're already coming after us. Chat says so. Merciless Eviction was merciless. Why do I keep saying merciful? Merciless Eviction was pretty hard on them, so we need to kill them quick because they're gunning for our throats here. Soul Ring coming down. They'll get another mirror token. Ooh, Dockside Extortionist. Let's see. So they'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll get 4 treasures. Not terrible. Over to Karador's turn. They will attempt to get wolves and it will fail. Unfortunately for them. So I was looking at our math here. So we have basically 12 plus 12 is 24. That's not enough to kill our very aggressive opponent. Very understandably, but very aggressive opponent. So we can't get them down to 6, and then they can whale back into us for whatever and get us down as far as we can. Karador sitting at 4 cards. We know they have the Wolfbriar, and that's not something we can necessarily tolerate too well. We'd have to trade a lot, which is somewhat problematic. If we can get something else down or remove some of their creatures, I think that'll be good, because we'd have to deal the 24 unblocked, and even though they have menace, that's going to be a lot of stuff. Wolfbriar Elemental coming down, kicked 3 times. So everyone has a good board state about now. Parallel Lives will trigger. I don't think that's even going to change the partner player's mind about things. We're going to be open to somebody. I'm thinking we're going to have to kill off those wolves. That's a lot of damage. The partner player can't do nearly as much damage to us just yet. Angel of Glory's Rise, where were you last game? No, that would have been so glorious. Oh well, more insurance in case stuff dies. Not a land though. I do want one more land in case Jirina dies again. But let's go ahead and play what we can play. Tap the temple, get Zulaport Cutthroat down. That'll help pad our life total. Let's go ahead, get rid of the Hedron Archive. Seems good. Go ahead and play Iroa's God of Victory. He won't be active, but it'll be okay. Jirina can, Angel of Glory's Rise rather, can bring all our humans back if there's a board wipe. And at this point, if I draw a board wipe, I'll probably just be using it anyway. Alright, so this attack has to be all into one player. Because things need to die. So I'm thinking keep Karador down, because they still have 3 cards in hand. They have parallel lives. If they play something, they have a board state. So, they can't block an additional creature, though, which kind of counters my menace. Yeah, we're in kind of a tough state, but we can't let Karador go. So I guess we're going into Karador. That's how these things work. We'll send one to the partner pair for good measure. Keep up a token for extra blocking to save our butts. And go to the attack. So we do have the token going into the partner player for the 4. And the rest of our tapped creatures going off into the Karador player. Let's see if they block with anything. I'm kind of hoping they do, because we need to draw a board wipe pretty quick. 2 mirror tokens going down, that's fine. Alright, so rules interaction. They can block an additional creature. So 2 of their creatures can block 2 of my creatures. It just kind of cancels it out, right? But they do have to assign it correctly. Is that how that works? Karador down to 18. They tried to assign a blocker and then pulled it back. I don't know why. The 2 mirror tokens down. That's all we can do for the moment. I'm hoping we get like a one-sided board wipe next turn. I don't have Winds of Abandon in here. I also don't have Kindred Dominance. I probably should put in Winds of Abandon. Kindred Dominance is really expensive, and I want to keep things like budget-friendly-ish. You know, in paper, it's expensive. Do we have a one-sided board wipe though? Storm the Vault, that's not good. Let's go ahead and cover that. Vial Smash will also trigger. Do we get the bonk? Nope. It goes to Karador. They are just unlucky on that. The partner player is really gunning for us on those, too. Storm the Vault flips over to Vault of Catlock. There we go. Duray scraps Savant, discard up to 2 cards, and then draw that many. So we'll be able to exile some stuff. But to cover the Storm of the Vault, 6 artifacts controlled by it. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to the player, create a treasure. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 5 or more artifacts, transform it. Tap, 1 mana of any color, tap, add blue for each artifact you control. So they have no cards in hand, which is fine for the moment. Let's see what they discard. Foundry Inspector. Okay. So we still have an opportunity here. Definitely going to swing into them next turn if I don't need to kill Karador. I don't think the partner player, based on the chat, is even paying attention to Karador. Okay, they attack us with Silas Wren. And they have in their graveyard Foundry Inspector. I'd rather just kill Silas Wren, honestly. So let's go ahead and block it with a token, or are we going to lose too much manpower on that? That is the question. Should have switched the Skull Clamp over, I wager. Well, it's trade 1 for 1. I think we'll go ahead and block it for now. It'll die, but okay. We get a trigger, get a little life padding. That's nice. So last ring coming back down, they will get another mirror. Not a Thopter, a mirror. I remembered this time. Storm the Vault will trigger at the end step. They get a land with tap, add all the blue. They don't have anywhere to use it right now, but that could change very easily next turn, which is something I'm worried about. They'll try to get more wolves, and it's not happening, although I think they have enough wolves. A little bit biased, but yeah, it's fine. Don't need to do that. Command Tower into play for Karador. Let's see what they do. 3 cards in hand. I wouldn't, a board wipe I'd be fine with at the moment. Mortify. All right, so our Grim Haruspex is going to die. We will get 2 cards. That's okay. We will lose some offense, though, which is something I am somewhat worried about here. But Angels of Glory's Rise can bring that and the Mother of Runes back. Ideally, I'd like another, regular human to die about it. I guess that sounds really bad. To then use the Mother, or the Angel of Glory's Rise. Athreos and a land. Yeah, could have been worse. Archetype of Courage. Their stuff gets first strike, ours does not. The archetypes are actually pretty good, especially the low-end ones. Like I said before, in my Krenko loner deck, there are the archetype of aggression. That way, I take away trample from my enemies, and my goblins are the best possible chump blockers they can be. Howlpack, Resurgence, Flash. Each creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf gets 1/1 and trample. Yeah, we're going to need a board wipe right quick. Too bad they're not magically zombies. That would be hilarious. Alright, so they can swing everything as if they want, but then they're dead to us. So that's probably not something they want to do. Oh no, they have Vigilance, so they'll be fine. So it is something they want to do, I wager. Yep, everything into us. Let's go to blocks. We'll block the most damage, I suppose. Zooport will get bitten, axed, devoured. I don't know. It dies. Zooport Cutthroat hits the bin. It'll trigger. So now we can Angel of Glory's Rise. That should be demoralizing to our opponents, perhaps, for maybe. 0 cards in Karador's hand. 0 cards in the partner hand. We are the arch enemy. Is it deserved? Maybe. We get another land. Let's go ahead and play the red, though, so I don't keep bonking us on the head with the pain land. Angel of Glory's Rise. The odds of them drawing a board wipe, that's okay. But let's go ahead and play the Angel. We get 4 blockers out of it. And I think that'll be good for now. So double white. Let's hit the 5. Leaves up enough mana for re-equipping the Skull Clamp. Let's play it. Triggers. Iroas is active. I do like that. We have tons of triggers. Guess we'll get rid of the things in the graveyard that we can. Only 2 targets for us, but that's okay. I think at this point we go to combat, and I also think that we equip the Skull Clamp to an attacker, or possibly our general. I'm not entirely sure here. I think we'll go ahead and re-equip it to the Grim Harvest. The Angel isn't really going to be coming back anytime soon if it dies. Let's go to the Wombats. Let's get Karador out of here, and then we'll see if the partner player can get lucky and wipe us out or something. I really hope they don't. Alright, so they have to block a lot here, and the lot will probably die. Either they're going to lose a lot of board state, or they're just going to straight up lose. Alright, blocks are assigned against General Kudro and Iroas. So they'll still be taking 8. It's not terrible. Some of our guys die in the next combat. They die, so that works out. They lose a bunch of their board state. I suppose they can't get Wolfbriar back anyway. We lose nothing, so that worked out. 3 of their creatures down. They're at 3. If any of our guys end up dying, they die. And then we just have to worry about the partner player, which I am slightly worried about. But if we can get to Athreus next turn, or we draw a one-sided board wipe of some kind, we have it. Urza Lord High Artificer. That's a top deck for the win. Jeez. Alright. Oh, Karador could just die right here. Odds are it's going to be... Yep, Karador randomly taken out by Vial Smasher. That was just terrible luck on their part. Man, and Urza to follow it up. Okay, plans are changing. They're going to have to. They're going to get a giant cookie monster. They're going to play a bunch of stuff for free. Whisper Silk Cloak. Okay. I was wrong about the casting stuff. I always forget how broken Urza is. I usually just try to kill it. I just know it's broken, and then I'm just like murder, murder, murder. Don't even care what you do. So there's that. That is a problem. Alright, they're going to activate him again. Let's cross our fingers. One with the machine. Can we play until the end of turn? Draw cards equal to the highest convert mana cost among artifacts they control. Is that 3? Yeah, that's 3. Alright, so they'll draw 3 cards, which is problematic. Let's see, do they have enough for Psych Rift? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they have plenty. We got Psych Rift and have to reset after this. That could be game for us. Once again, the deck doesn't have haste. I have been neglecting that. Karn's Bastion into play. 4 tap to proliferate. So, Duretti gets, what, up to 3 counters? There's 7 mana. Brass's Bounty. For each land you control, create a treasure token. Okay, that was not what I was expecting. That's, cool, though. Everything becomes tap, add blue, which is not cool, however. Whisper Silk Cloak onto the construct. So we have a turn to live. Alrighty, then. Alright, they're trying to play the top card again. It's a swamp. I can live with that. Okay, so we have a lot of artifact destruction in here. Probably like 7 separate sources. I would like some. Cross our fingers. I mean, at this point, I can't even kill anything with the Skull Clamp. So that is somewhat problematic. So we'd have to swing with everything. We'll get blocked and we die to the construct at this point. Alright, they're doing it again. All those Marocks. Rogue's Passage, that's, well, not ironic. I mean, duplication is good. If we kill the Whisper Silk Cloak, they're on Rogue's Passage. So now we need just anything at this point. Alright, so they're going to discard with Duretti. They discard Heuristic Study. Goblin Welder. Okay, so they can get rid of our Skull Clamp now, if it has haste, just on the next turn. If we top deck a Vandal Blast. If we top deck a Vandal Blast, I will be more than thrilled with our results. Let's hope. No, we get a Rakdos Signet. Dang. Oh, that would have been so good. Alright, let's play the Plains. Alright, I don't know that there's anything we can do. I mean, if they somehow damage us, we can draw some cards, but I mean, I realize prevents the combat damage. We just kind of have to swing hog with everything, but we probably won't kill them. So it is somewhat problematic. Let's play the Rakdos Charm, and let's play Athreos. That's all we got. That's all it was written for us, and swing the chain. We got top decked outplayed by Urza Lord High Artificer. Wizards, that's a broken card. Why'd you make it, man? In either case, yeah, we were so close. But we go out in a blaze of glory on the battlefield like aggro should. I was gonna say, at this point, I would block with everything I can and just hit us with the construct. I mean, it only needs like, they need to play like one more artifact and we die. So, I mean, there's a very slim chance we come out on top of this. So, I'm not giving up hope just yet, but yeah, so they do block with everything. We kill all their stuff. Less chance for them to win. If they don't block with everything, they can actually just slap us back. We only have the one defender, and he's dependent on our other creatures surviving. So that is a thing. Bit overlooked there. All right, so we have the blocks. All right, they're down to 7. Man, we were close. All right, so they did lose some artifacts in the exchange, though, so we might still survive. Oh, man, this is tense. This is the kind of game I live for. Let's see how many times they can activate Urza. That's going to be the problem. Ooh, Tezzeret. I didn't see another Planeswalker coming down. I think that one just does the card draw, right? Let's take a look. 3 blue starts with 5. +1, create a Colosopter artifact creature token with flying. Is that what they did? It went by so fast. No, they drew some cards, it looks like. 0, draw a card. If you control 3 more artifacts, draw 2 cards instead. -9, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, search your library for a permanent card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Alright, so at this point, since it's an artifact deck, I assume they're just going to activate Urza a bunch of times, get lethal on the construct, and kill us. I mean, I assume that's what's happening. But let's see. They may get really unlucky. They may screw it up. So we do have a very slim chance. There's no way they can stop our next attack without something like a Psych Rift. Activating Duretti, discarding a card, getting a card back. Let's see what they discarded. They discard Tezzeret the Schemer. Okay. Mana Crypt is what they reveal off the top for Urza. They only need to reveal one more artifact, and we are dead. Cross your fingers, roll high on your dice. Let's go. And, yep, Thrawn Temple Gateway. I mean, it was a slim chance of victory, but that's a good game to our opponent, man. I'm just glad they stuck around for it. The victory is well deserved. All right, there's the attack. Good game to our opponent. That was an awesome game. I liked it a lot. The deck needs some improvements. Notably, some haste might be good. We do have some we have some Nobo stuff with like the Skull Clamp and the Gods and some other things, but I think overall the deck could be good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the finished deck real quick as far as this list is concerned. So I did take out the Underworld Breach. I put in a Phyrexian Reclamation. Thought that'd be generally better. Definitely like the Angel of Glory's Rise. Came in perfect. Merciless Eviction was clutch in the early game. Man, almost won us the game at that point. I did add Terror of the Peaks. I took out Tragic Blade of the Legion. I mean, it's indestructible 2/2, but yay, it doesn't do much else. Terror of the Peaks to burn out opponents. That would have been actually pretty good. A little earlier on, but the game went fine in my opinion. Swedish specials I would like to see. We did get finally some card draw, which is fantastic. Oh, Brave the Sands is still in there, so I guess I still like it, I guess. But anyway, as noted, the deck list will be to tapped out in the description below. And I mean, that was fantastic. I feel kind of bad for Karador and Sapling of Colfenor. Sapling just couldn't get any lands. Karador just couldn't get anything, it looked like. So, but I mean, I had a ton of fun. Thanks for tuning into Durdle Magic. If you like the content you saw here today, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit that like button, and if you could be so kind, please share the video to anyone who you think might be interested. And remember, you can follow our posts at Facebook and at Twitter at DurdleMTG. We also post the video links there, so if that's more of your forum, Durdle around with us and enjoy some magic. Until then, see you around.